What's up, guys? It's me, Alan, and I am back with another video today. I got another NASCAR Diecast review to do today, and we're going to take this one back to 2015. And if you don't have this diecast in your collection, you might want to find it. You might want to find one somewhere. eBay would probably be your best bet. But yeah, I am so freaking happy, and I would almost say lucky, to say that I found this on eBay and got it. But for a pretty good price too. It was under 10 bucks, thank God. But it's David Gilliland's number 38 Loves Travel Stops Ford for Front Row Motorsports. Holy shit. I got a David Gilliland diecast in my collection. God damn. You know, that's the power of eBay. What can I say? But anyway, yeah, like I said though, you know, Front Row Motorsports, David Gilliland, 2015. You know, I think there's another 2015 Gilliland diecast up on there. I didn't get it, but or whatever. I could be wrong, but yeah. So let's go ahead, let's unbox this diecast. Actually, let me do something real quick. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and unbox this diecast and let's review this bad boy. God damn it. There we go. But yeah, when I saw this on there, for the price that I saw it at, I was like, oh my god. Like, you'd think this, again, this is under 10 bucks. For a David Gilliland diecast, I would have thought it would have been a little higher, but hey, I'll take it nonetheless. So, anyway, here's the diecast out of its box, and you know, Loves Travel Stops, it's been around for a while. It's been around, you know, you see it with Michael McDowell, you know, Gilliland here. But yeah, so, again, if you don't have this diecast in your collection, I mean, you might want to add it. You might want to find it, because, trust me, you know, this is an awesome piece to have, to say the very least. Make sure it runs. Yeah, we're good. So anyway, here's the front of it. Got a couple paint chips on the splitter, but that's no big deal. Kind of got a paint chip right there. Again, not a huge deal. Loves, fast, clean, friendly. Nice. Windshield's in, back windshield's in. That's good. Little paint chip there. But yeah, I mean, you know, for a 2015 diecast, again, being it's David Gilliland, for all intents and purposes, I'm kind of surprised that, you know, that I was able to get it for the price that I got it at, because, you know, you'd think these would be a little harder to find. And I'm happy that they made the diecast in the first place. You know, I honestly didn't know that they did. Yeah, of course, you got his son Todd running in the truck series nowadays. He's fighting for a playoff spot, actually, going into their upcoming regular season finale. So best of luck to him. And look at that headlight or look at that rear tail light right there. The freaking I don't want to call that a paint chip, but more like a paint tear, or just it just got some yellow in there or something. I don't know what you would want to call that, but it is what it is. You know, Lionel quality, of course. You know, this is actually I think during Lionel's early years, because remember back in 2015, you know, back in these days, you had you know, we were starting to see the transition from Spin Master, you know, to where we are now, where Lionel is the only people making diecasts, you know, like this. So which, you know, in retrospect, you know, I wish we still had competition when it comes to diecast making, because maybe we wouldn't see things like this on these diecasts nearly as much. If Lionel had competition, had somebody pressuring them to put out their best, because, you know, by all accounts, that's what we saw back in the as far back as the early 2000s and stuff. And that's another thing too. It was actually during the Southern 500 Darlington race this past weekend. I was in Original Big Bride's Discord chat, and one of the things that was talked about during the race was diecast, obviously. But some of us had ideas for different things, and I'm gonna make a video about this in the future. Like with my opinions, like I would want to see, a wave in Authentics where you get all truck diecasts, or 1 or 2 all Xfinity Series diecast waves, and I'll explain all that in a future video. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. But one thing that got brought up is just that somebody had the idea of, well, why not do a wave of small team diecast and stuff like this, like Front Row Motorsports. You got Front Row. Mike Harmon Racing's got a diecast made, and they actually might get a second one made, and such, and things like that. And I agree. Like, I want to see that. I want to see these smaller teams get diecast made. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, his Sitgard car just came out, and I'm hoping his Mystic car he did get his Mystic Lubricants car made in the 1.24 scale. I'm waiting for it in the 1.64 because I've had that pre-ordered for months. And things like that. But and somebody brought it up back in the day, like the 90s or the late 90s or whatever. It didn't matter if you made one start or if you made every race. There was, I forget who it was, but you'd get a diecast made of your car, which I think is really awesome. And it's like pretty much every guy in the top series got one made. And I'm not saying I would want to see it back to those levels, but I want to see Lionel make more diecasts. And I just think that there's just a bunch of issues that come into that. I mean, not just the cost of making diecast and stuff, but more so just the process of pre-order and just getting them, and just you're trying to gauge interest off pre-orders. But it's like, if a driver was to put out on Twitter or their social media in general, hey, this diecast out for pre-order if you want it made, whatever. Like, I've seen that a few times this year. Jeffrey Earnhardt did it. Jesse Little did it recently. Ryan Vargas. Like, for these smaller guys, they need to do that to try to draw attention. And even then, like, sometimes it doesn't work. But one of the biggest things that comes up is Lionel's pre-order system. And somebody mentioned this to me, that back in 2018, fans were clamoring about it. They wanted it changed and things like that, and it did, and it was going good for a while, and then here we are now, because there's been a crap ton of diecasts that have been DNP'd this year. And granted, a lot of that has to do with pandemic and people not spending as much money and on things like that, which is totally understandable. But I think what this year really has also done is it's also exploited, or further exploited, a bigger issue with Lionel's pre-order system, and that Lionel's pre-order system freaking sucks. It seems like everybody has to meet a certain quantity of diecast to be made, and of pre-orders for diecast to get made, no matter what scale or what version or whatever. The problem I have with that is, why should drivers like Vargas or Earnhardt or these smaller names have to meet the same level as bigger names like Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott and stuff? Because, and that's another thing, like, there's a couple of guys, Chase Elliott being one of them, or probably the biggest notable person in this regard, that seem to be immune from getting diecast DNP'd. And before you jump on me and be like, well, what about Chase Elliott's All-Star car? Relax. It was his All-Star car from this year. There's no, if you pre-ordered it, cool, but there was probably a slim chance of many of those getting made. I mean, hell, Kurt Busch's apparently didn't even get offered. You know, he was the only All-Star car that didn't get offered. And people weren't a huge fan of the number placement as it is. So I'm not surprised that people didn't order it. You know, but it's just the All-Star car. Relax. When a regular Chase Elliott diecast gets DNP, let me know. You know, then you can, you know, let me know. Make me eat my words. But until then, you know. But it's this truth, and it sucks because why should somebody like Vargas or whatever have to meet the same pre-order standards as a bigger name like Kyle Busch or something like that? Because for the most part, it's gonna be a crap ton easier to get a Kyle Busch or a Chase Elliott or a Joey Logano diecast made because these guys have more fans than it is for a guy, you know, and not just more fans, but just, you know, whatever, than for a guy like Ryan Vargas, or some of these other guys, especially, you know, Xfinity and Truck Series, you know, get theirs made. You know, and I want to see more diecasts get made for these, you know, not just for the smaller teams in Cup, but, you know, Xfinity and the Truck Series as well, just in general. Because I feel like there's a bunch of paint schemes that we're going to miss out on. I mean, just look at Darlington this past weekend. So many freaking throwbacks. I wish they were going to offer every single one of them. Probably the ones I want the most would be Johnson's, which is obviously being offered and most likely will get made. Chad Fincham's, which was a tribute to Jerry Nadeau, during his days when he ran for that team that Dan Marino was a part of. And then Joe Graf Jr.'s car, because the story behind that one is two of my friends on Twitter were actually a part of that. One of them came up with the idea, the other came up with the design, and they helped out and got it done. So, you know, I want to see these diecasts get made, and you know, it's awesome to see custom diecast makers, you know, make these. But the problem with that is, you know, the price for a custom diecast can be asinine. I mean, you look on eBay and these things are going for $20-$30, which I get it. You want to get back the money that you put into it. Some people are willing to pay that much for a custom diecast, but some are not, and it's you know, it's a whole thing. But anyway, that's all for a future video, or probably future videos, more than one. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.